All right, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about this Talk about the Usman and Colby Covington fight. I'm going to talk about the TJ video relating to this, right? So Usman and Colby for 268 November just got announced. It's happening big. Now, we've talked about this fight a lot, but not for the reasons that most people do, right? We've been talking about it relating to broader narratives. We'll get to that. So I want to talk about why no one is really thinking that there's any chance that Colby's going to win this fight, and I'll weigh in on whether I think he could win this fight. And then I'm going to talk about the bigger stuff, man. The bigger stuff. Why this fight matters really, because there's the big thing right behind it, right? Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys who know my content already know what I'm going to say, but I'm going to say it different. Anyway, if you like the content, subscribe and ring the bell. So here's the deal. Colby Covington, everyone is going to assume has no chance in this fight. None. Literally none. And the reason for that is because what possible indication would there be that he can beat Kamaru Usman? And the reason I say that, I'm trying to knock Colby. Kamaru Usman already beat Colby, and has Kamaru Usman gotten better? Because he looks much better. He looks like he's improved exponentially since he last fought Colby. Colby may have improved exponentially also, but it's basically like you had Kamaru Usman and Colby, who were wrestlers who weren't really known for their striking, and Kamaru Usman was just starting to look like a proficient or a half decent striker. After that fight, if you don't recall, he went to Trevor Whitman, okay? You remember that? Remember he went to Trevor Whitman after that fight because he was going to fight Gilbert Burns and they had to split the camps up? That's how he ended up in Colorado. Anybody seen any improvements in his striking since that fight? Okay? Since he went to Trevor Whitman, he's a killing machine on his feet. It's one of those things. He just dirt naps everyone that he fights. So what indication is there that a vastly improved Kamaru Usman is going to be beatable by someone who he already beat? Now, that fight was very close. Very close. Here's the problem. He hit Colby with a lot of shots that I believe with his new power are not absorbable, right? That's just my take. I can't tell you. Look, I really respect Kamaru Usman, okay? I think he's a stud. He's the kind of guy that, if you had a son, you were like, man, if my son turned out like Kamaru Usman, that would be an incredible victory. The guy's like a grinder. Although I heard he's late all the time. I got a thing about people being late, man. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Not even a little bit. But it's neither here nor there because he's the world champion. He can do what the fuck he wants, But the reason why I'm rooting for Colby is because guess what? You already know. Everybody already knows. If you watch my channel, you already know. You already know. And you know what? It might be a fantasy. That's the funniest thing about it. It might be a complete fucking fantasy. But we're not there yet, okay? One thing I want to talk about here is, first of all, if you don't follow me on Instagram, go follow me on Instagram, okay? It's the Real Jesse on Fire, and it says black belt in talking shit. That's how you'll know you're on the right one. Real Jesse on Fire, and then in the description, black belt in talking shit. I don't think anybody would challenge that. I don't think there's anyone who would strap a brown belt on my waist when it comes to talking shit. No one, motherfucker. But anyway, and also, if you didn't watch my most recent video, the one that says TJ proves everyone wrong, Jesse cries on camera, watch it. Fucking watch it. I challenge you to watch. And you know what? I challenge trolls to watch that video and then feel like you can talk shit to that one. Actually watch that video and then go in the comments and talk shit and then don't feel like you're the most pathetic piece of shit on earth afterwards. Okay? That's my challenge to you. Now, to people who actually love this sport and are not trolls, watch it. Because there's a lot there that I promise you'll love. Have you ever heard me plug another video? Have you ever heard me say this is a video you actually need to watch? Trust me, just give it a run. Anyway, but in that video, I talked about why the sport is so amazing, why I love it so much, and what it means to these fighters and these broader narratives, etc. It was so good that Mix Molly emailed me after watching it and was like, dude, he's like, this is exactly how I see the sport. And I was like, I know, that's why I love your content so much. But we talked for a long time. And one of the reasons why I'm bringing that up now is because when I look at the Kamaru Usman and Colby fight, I think there are going to be a lot of people that are going to come in here and just break the fight down. Check it out. Colby stepped here. Kamaru stepped here. This is what they did. Derp by derp by derp. Look at this next one. You got to think about, parrying here. And it's like, Mick Smalley was saying, he's like, I'm glad that I never really dug into the super technical aspects of the fight game because that's just not what my channel is. And I was like, exactly my point. I could do more technical breakdowns if I wanted to, especially exclusively about the striking. But I don't. And I do that on purpose because that's not what this channel is. It's just not what this channel is. It's not what Chael Sonnen's channel is either. There's way more shit in MMA than fucking, look at his jab. Look at how he snaps his jab now. You just heard about as in-depth as I like to go with breakdowns. It's like, here's some 1 + 1 = 2 breakdown for you, okay? Colby fought Kamaru Usman. They fought pretty fucking even, but Kamaru did end up getting the better of Colby. Now, since then, everyone knows he went to Trevor Whitman since that fight, and look at his striking now. He just hit Masvidal with one of the most titanic shots any 170-pound fighter has ever been hit with in the history of fighting, okay? Like, literally, in the history of 170-pound fighters fighting other 170-pound fighters, he might have put one of the most titanic shots anyone has ever put on a fighter ever against Masvidal in his last fight, okay? He didn't have that power before Trevor. He had it, but he didn't have it yet, So, look, that's it. That's it. But I will say this. That's what I said about Gilbert Burns beating Kamaru Usman. It was a breakdown like that. I was like, look, man, where's he going to beat him? Look at how explosive Gilbert is on the feet. Kamaru's good, but he doesn't have that quick twitch, and Gilbert Burns does. And if it goes to the ground, Gilbert Burns is going to submit him. So how's he going to win? That was my breakdown. That was one of the first videos I ever did that got a lot of views, got 90,000 views. Man, I had to eat a lot of shit for that one. People love fucking me in the ass in the comments on that one. What are you going to do? Sometimes you just got to take it up the ass, you know what I mean? If you earned it, and I earned it with that one. So it was funny. I was talking to Eric Nixick about that. And I was like, when I found out that Kamaru Usman was training Francis, and I was like, dude, I have so much respect for Kamaru, but I imagine the first video of mine that he saw was the thing that I did this broad breakdown saying that Gilbert Burns was going to beat him, because it's the first video I had that really got a lot of views. So I would imagine he probably saw it. And I had some clickbaity thing like Gilbert Burns dominates Kamaru Usman in fucking sparring, which was ridiculous. It was like a 9-second clip. It was utterly ridiculous. Completely not him getting dominated at all. But maybe just clickbaity that Kamaru probably clicked on it. And thus, I could do 100 fucking videos about Kamaru Usman being amazing, and the only one he's ever going to remember is fucking that one, And Eric's like, that's true. He's like, that guy keeps receipts. Oh, fuck my life. That was a doomed video, dude. I took shit from everyone. I ruined my relationship with Kamaru Usman forever. I'm speculating, but, Anyway, but let's talk about why this fight really matters, right? At least to me, because we've talked about this before. And if you think that I'm doing something underhanded by saying this again, then I really encourage you, go watch my last video, okay? Watch it. This is not about let me prove this to you. But I laid out in my last video why it's so much better. If Colby and Masvidal's beef is fake, it's 1,000 times better. It's a million times better. Fucking million times better. And that is why I'm rooting for Colby. It's just because if Colby wins, right, and then him and Masvidal get to fight for the belt, what that would mean as it relates to these two guys plotting together, fucking broke in their apartment, dreaming of a day when they could fight for the title, both making millions of dollars, just got done helping the president campaign together. Shit that was, there are these two fucking little assholes in an apartment eating ramen, and they dreamed so big. And if Colby beats Usman, that dream will be realized. It just will be, because then Masvidal will fight Colby, and that would be their vision. Their vision was, maybe we could build a beef, and then maybe we could fight each other at the absolute pinnacle of the sport. And that's exactly what that would be. And if Colby pulls this fight off, that's what will happen. Now, is Colby going to pull this fight off? What did I just say? Right? Look, I can't stress this enough. I couldn't be rooting for anyone more than I'm rooting for Colby. It's not possible. And not because I'm rooting against Kamaru Usman at all. Because of I believe the Masvidal and Colby beef is fake, and I have this grandiose narrative around that like, fucking A, man, if they pull this shit off, it'll be the greatest thing ever. Like, the absolute greatest thing ever. It'll be fucking weird to see them fight each other knowing that they're, well, at least, I mean, you only know what you think you know, right? And I think I know that they're just best friends, right? And so that would be very weird to actually see them fight each other. But, maybe they'll convince me that they actually hate each other. Maybe I'll just turn my brain off. Once they actually get the fight, I'll just shut it all down. And I'll be like, yeah, maybe it's real. Maybe it's real. But look, I think things are fake all the time. You got to understand, like, if you're, just for clarity, look, at this point, the fight breakdown is over, okay? Just so we're clear, the purpose of this video being about fights, over. But I'm going to explain something else to you that I think most people will find entertaining, okay? I think everything's a fucking lie. I literally think everything is a fucking lie. Everything, okay? And I'll give you an example. So yesterday, my boy who runs the Accent podcast sent me this ridiculous thing, right? I mean, this is normally the kind of thing that would go on my other channel. But this is like an image that came from the Dallas Justice Dallas Justice Now, which is a Black Lives Matter organization. Bear with me, we're not going to get super political here, okay? I promise. But basically, this letter went out to a bunch of, like, this super white, super rich neighborhood in Dallas, okay? So it's like and it went to every registered Democrat in this super white, super rich neighborhood in Dallas. And basically the letter says, dear, whoever, you're a registered Democrat. You've donated to Black Lives Matter. You've done blah, blah, blah. What we're asking you to do is to pledge that you will not send your kid to any of the top 50 colleges in the country because you have benefited from stepping on people of color for generation after generation, and whether you know it or not, that's why you're rich. And so we're asking you to not send your kids to Ivy League schools so that people of color can take those places. And I read that and I was like, and I just read it in so what do you guys think that is? What do you guys, what's your instinct? Because I know, like, listen, like, most people, there might even be some people that are like, well, yeah, they should do that. I think it'll probably be a minority who thinks that. But there could be a lot of people that are like, well, if you just allow people to keep pushing, they'll get to the point where they think that you'll sacrifice your fucking kids for them, right? If you never push back, that's where they'll go. They're like, how about you just sacrifice your kids' education for my benefit, because you're guilty, Maybe that. You want to know what I see? There's always a lie. There's always a fucking lie. So what I see here is, I bet you conservatives made this thing. It's brilliant, dude. I bet you conservatives created this thing and sent it out to all these rich Democrats, and they were like, dude, how about you don't send your kid to Harvard so that a black kid can take that spot, right? Because you're a Democrat. That's what you do if you're a Democrat. Because, I mean, you're a member of the political party that you're a member of because you see benefit or your empathy demands it, whatever. You want to flip someone? Tell them to sacrifice their kid to remain a member of that party. I mean, not very many people are going to stand. Now, I personally would have read that and been like, there's no fucking way this is real, because, like, this has to be Republicans that did this. So, like I said, I see a lie everywhere. So it's totally possible. I don't know, this is a weird example, but it's totally possible that Colby and Masvidal hate each other. But I always assume it's a lie. I assume anything that makes press is a fucking lie. Everything. So, I don't think the moon landing's real either. Oh, wait, did I say that out loud? No, never mind. It's real. It's real. It's real. It's real. It's real. There's no evidence that it's not real on Facebook, YouTube, or Google anymore. So it means it's not. It means it was totally real. There's no evidence at all. None. Just kidding. No, I do think it's real. I'm just kidding. Anyway, but yeah. There's no reason to comment about that in the comments. I'm not going to talk about it because I do think it's real. I do. I think it's obviously real. Of course it's real. Of course it's real. Jesse, what temperature is it on the moon during the day? It's funny that you would ask. There's no atmosphere. It's actually almost 300 degrees there. Well, that's crazy. What's the temperature at night? Oh, thanks for asking. There's no atmosphere. It's like negative 300 degrees. So it's either 300 degrees or negative 300 degrees? Yeah, it is. Well, so how did they handle that? I don't know. Why would that? Those aren't questions I have to answer. Jeez. I mean, Why would I need to answer that? Hey, what's the furthest humans have been off Earth aside from the moon landing? They've never left lower Earth orbit, which is like a couple hundred miles. Oh, okay. How far is the moon? 238,000 miles away? I'm sorry, did you say that the next closest, so the moon is 238,000 miles away, and the next furthest that any known manned space mission has gone is like 200 miles, 500 miles, something like that? Yeah, that. I don't understand. How is that even possible? I don't know. How am I supposed to know? These are just things that I know. They're just things. Hey, did you say that they actually caught the people that were running the press faking photographs? Like they're actually faked photographs they know for 100% sure because they used the same background and then they pretended they were different things with the astronauts on the moon? Yeah, they did that. Well, why would they do that? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe cameras don't work on the moon. So they had to, kind of juke some shit, maybe. I don't know. Well, gee, come on. Why would they do it? Why would they fake the moon landing? I have no idea. Look, that's not my thing. Could have been something to distract from the, the most unpopular war in American history. Remember the Vietnam War where we were drafting people and they were going and getting killed? Can you imagine what it'd be like if your kid got drafted and then killed? Probably wouldn't be super stoked about the American government, give them something to distract them with. And then also something about the space race. I don't know. Soviet Union, we were trying to establish dominance around the world. And, if you can't get to the moon, then just fake like you did. Because honestly, here's the other thing. If we did fake the moon landing, it's even more gangster than if we went there. Straight up. If we pulled off faking it, it's even more gangster than if we went. Because everyone still believes it. The most gangster psyop of all time. So that's probably why I think we didn't go, because I am a fucking patriot and I have actually thought about this and I was like, my God, if we really didn't go and we faked it, that is the most gangster ass shit ever. Because you have to think about why. By the way, this is what my other channel's like. Jesse on Everything? That's what this is what Jesse on Everything is. So it's from the second I started talking about, thinking everything is fake to right now, consider this a commercial for my other channel. Maybe it makes you want to just completely unsubscribe to all my shit. Fine. Do it if you want. But this is the kind of thing I talk about on my other channel. But anywho, but think about this, right? Think about this. If we did it, why? Right? Why? So it's a lie. It's an enormous lie, but why? And if you think about it like this, okay, it has to be a secret from the American people. So the American people are like, well, why would they lie like that? It's like, you think that they wanted to lie to you? We wanted to trick every other motherfucker, okay? They're not tricking the American people. They're tricking everybody else. They wish that they could tell us. But they can't, because then everyone would blab about it. Hey, you can't believe, God, the Soviets believed it. They fucking believed it. So did China. They'd find out 1 millisecond later that it was fake. So when you think about why we did it, it becomes the most gangster shit ever. If we did it, If we did it. Wait, so how many people have been back to the moon since 1970? None. Right, because it's too expensive. It's too expensive to go back. Really, is that how that works? So if you accomplish something technologically, over the following 50 some odd years, it becomes more expensive to do that? Or is that how that works? Yeah. That's exactly how it works. Too expensive. Interesting. Can you talk to me about the computing power that existed back then? Well, sure. On the actual, rocket that went to the moon, there was a computer that had the computing power of a TI-82 calculator. Really? Yeah. A TI-82 calculator. True story. And it went to the moon and back. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Nothing to see here. Don't think about it too much. We went because they say we went, right? How do you know we went? Well, they said we did, right? Of course they did. So we did. Of course, because why would anyone ever lie about something like that? Right. And that's why you watch this channel. I start off talking about Colby Covington and Kamaru Usman, and I end up in the 1960s talking about the fucking moon landing. So get off me. And by the way, I was just kidding about all that. I was completely joking. I do believe that we went. Totally. I just brought those things up because that's what people who think we didn't go think. I am not one of those people. I believe it 100%. But honestly, I am completely fucking crazy, so there's no reason to listen to anything I say. All right, that's what we got. Peace.